know that we need to go through the whole Metallica years, but then you're out of the band when you had the injury and had the recovery period. So did you stop with music then, or you just needed to take a step back and focus on getting better?
So I had 3 different shoulder surgeries from 2004 to 2008. So I stepped out of the band in January of 2001. I was already neck deep in a project called Echo Brain. And I started with a couple of young guys from South San Francisco. So we toured that, made a record, rave reviews, did very well, even without anybody's help. And then I stepped away from that and joined Montreal heavy metal band Voivod in 2002. We made 4 records together through 2010. Did some touring with them. The surgery stuff, first my right one went down, and I had, there was an injury in the studio. I had dealing with a big bass amp, and it ripped my shoulder apart, tore my bicep, and all was pretty severe. So within the first couple weeks, I was kind of locked like this with that brace thing, and I was able to fit a Parker Fly as a composite guitar about this thick, and it weighs about 2 pounds. So I could fit it in between my belly and my brace, and I could go like that. So I finger pick, learned how to finger pick, because that's all I could do, which now I'm really happy about. But so I just could play like that for a little bit, and then over time to rehab and everything. So in the meantime, while this one was debilitated, you know, you have to learn to do everything with this out of necessity. So because I didn't like to sit around, it really after a week or two, it just couldn't even, it was like I was really going a bit mental, having to sit still. And so I went to do everything that I could do it anyway, and do it with this arm. And while this one was like this, I tore this one from overuse. So by the time this one was rehabbed and ready, I went to surgery for this one. So while this one was like this, I ripped this one again, doing the same thing. I wouldn't calm down. So once this was rehabbed, back here again. So it took a 4-year time and Vicodin the whole time. So 5 to 6 years, full Vicodin addiction, full fucking full. And I'm so grateful that nobody gave me OxyContin, nobody gave me whatever the other things that were more than that. I just knew that drug. When I was taking medicine, I wrote down every time I took it, every time. And I got to a point where I only took that much, and I wouldn't allow myself to take any more than that during the day. I'd just get to the spot that kept me going, right? They actually kept me normal because I was so addicted. That's what my body was used to. So it's like a drinker with a drink. If you don't have it, you go fucking crazy. And with this kind of stuff, I didn't, you know, if you stop, it's really dangerous. So I just have that much, and I'd always write it down. So I could have so easily been right there. There's Heath Ledger, there's Jason. It could have been absolutely. I was taking the same medicines. Could have been absolute, but it wasn't, because I wrote it down. I ended up with a different ending. The scariest time that I ever had with that was when I tried to stop. When I did stop, not tried. I just stopped. I poured them. Something really dumb. You don't do that. Don't pour your medicine down the toilet. Really dumb idea, because then all the fish get fucked up and all the people get fucked up. Really bad idea. So I did that though to prove it, and then washed them and like that. So like that, you know, I knew I could beat it. I can beat this. This thing doesn't even breathe. How can it beat me? You know? Got rid of that thing. Didn't realize you can't do that. If you've been on it for 6 years and you just stop, dude, guess what? You're gonna die, because I didn't realize it was worse to stop. Right, so I started going in this craziness and got to the hospital, and my heart went to 25, and the alarms are going off, and they come running in, and all this, and I'm kind of zombieing, and they finally get me back and everything, and they figure out what's going on, so they pump some of that shit into me, some kind of narcotic into me, so it got me back there. And then I went on the program to get off, taper with, you know, whatever the thing is, you get off opiates with that one. And did that for a little bit, got off them. That's been since 2010. So I'm 10 years out now.
That's a lot of discipline.
Yeah, but I had to, because it was affecting everything, you know. But what I did learn is that it actually creates something in your system physically that it causes pain. Pain medicine can cause pain. So you take pain pills to have pain ultimately when you take it too much.
pharmaceutical industry loves that.
That's right. That's how it goes. Yeah, yeah. But fortunately, got out of that. But so the surgeries kind of set me back. I kept playing music the best that I could, and it was kind of. I haven't ever been able to come all the way back. I'm like 90-some% full. You know, I can't play the full Metallica stuff. I couldn't do the show anymore like that. So, right. So that. As the times went by in the earlier years, what if you would have stayed, what if, you know, that kind of thing. And everybody, except for maybe my sister, my wife, and my dad, and my brothers, my mom, like, you do you. They were in it close enough with me. They went to enough shows. They saw enough of the backstage stuff. They saw what took place, and they're like, we get it. Okay, you do you, we'll be around for you like that. But everybody else, whether they knew me or they call me Jason anyway because they knew my name, but I didn't know them, there's millions of those people, and they all had something to say about it. How in the hell could you do that? You're throwing away tens of millions of dollars. Why would you do that? Why would you step out of the biggest, best band of all time and what are you thinking? I'm like, am I in your shoes right now? No. Are you in mine? Then shut up. You have nothing. You don't know where I've been.
You're a public person.
Yeah, and
you got an opinion.
Right. And it took me a while to convince them. And so, you know, like as I think about that, what if? They go, you know what? It worked out exactly like it was supposed to. I'm not saying I could have planned it or anything like that, but I'm saying if I wouldn't have did what I did when I did it, they wouldn't have been able to survive. They're stronger than ever now. They used to play.
It's hard enough, but then to have all this pressure, right? People are like, what are you doing?
Yes. So it took for the years to subside, which is really nice. And now I've been out 19 years. And so it's a whole, you know, I got my own, I've had a whole another 2 or 3 lifetimes since I was in that big thing that provided all of this for me. So because I worked hard when I did and played 200 shows a year and did all that thing, they only have to play 40 shows a year now to make the same money as 200 back then. Because they've been...
They're still having substance abuse problems.
Yes, they are, but they've been touring for 37 years, and that's the only way you're going to be able to make that kind of money is you've been touring for 37 years with the same members and stuff, right? So I'm proud of them for that. I'll never talk a bad word about anything like that or the guys. They gave me my chance in my life, and I worked as hard as I could. I always treated, you know, always with the fans. Something back here told me I have to spend every minute I can with the people because it's not always going to be like this. And so I did. That was my thing. They made fun of me for how much time I spent with the fans. They ridiculed me for how much time I spent with the fans. And now I wouldn't change one thing. You know, I had my doubts at a certain time, but now I know. The music I'm playing with the Chop House Band is what I'm able to play. And sometimes it gets vicious and sometimes it gets nice and ugly and all that stuff. But also I know I can play this forever. This music and the Johnny Cash, I can play sitting right here or laying right there or dancing around over there. I can still play this music. I know for a fact I cannot play the way that I would want to play in Voivod, Metallica, any of those bands. I don't have the physicality to do that anymore. So peace of mind.
Forming this band, this is music that you can continue with
for
a
sure.
really long time.
For sure, forever.
It's root stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you're comfortable with.
Yep, and not as physically challenging, and I can call the shots. I only do 6, like I said, 6 shows a year, and I do them right, and they're associated with the right people, and the effects. Look at the effects that we've had, that we're getting, results that we're getting just for the Lighthouse thing.
Have you recorded anything, or you?
We are, so if you look around, we got all the mics and we got the Pro Tools set up and everything. So we just started recording. Yeah, but anyway, so we just started recording every day and getting a little more serious about things. I've written 20 songs in the past 10 months.
So when you sit down to write now, how do you approach it?
Have a guitar that's very comfortable and usually something old.
You come up with is it like a riff first or a lyric or?
Certain instruments have certain songs in them and you already know it. So you grab one of those instruments, you set yourself up for success. And in my case, I build a drum program first. So I have on my iPad, just in GarageBand, and I picture what's going to happen, I do an intro and the drum part and the drum part, and then the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, boom, out, and build the drum part. So it's, you know, and then once I put that on, I don't really have to think about anything other than catching what I'm doing. I have to make sure to capture it.
How do you do a melody?
So the drum motivates, I'm playing by myself. So the motivation that comes from the part makes the song. So if the drums go, that's the beat, then automatically in my head, I got the guitar in my hands. I press the thing, and it starts playing that beat. Like that, and I just let it come, just like with a painting. Open up, let it pour in, hit it, capture it. So there's not.
So do you think that comes from your background as a bass player, though, because you're part of that sort of backbeat of the song?
Yes.
So
Yes. Yep. And I think that probably the initial part, I play kind of more bass-like on the guitar, which I do anyway, but play a couple strings only on the guitar, writing the melody out with the bigger strings, and then get the other jangly stuff after a little bit. But the structure is built with kind of caveman style, but it just, or punk rock, man caveman style. I like that. I'm not going to sit back on laurels. You know, there's a couple things. If we're going to do Bragtown, you know, go on the freaking inner tube there and read out the 4 albums of all time that have been on the Billboard charts for 500 weeks or more. 4. Okay, there's 800 records a month for how many years? 60 years? Yeah. 4. Well, one of those is Metallica's Black Album. And then Bob Marley and the Wailers, and Tom Petty, and Eagles' Greatest Hits, you know. Metallica. Those guys. One of the 4. Yeah. You know, so just that thing in itself, the work that we did then, the amount of males 12 to 20 years old that would dig into the music from 1991 to 99 and pay for the CDs and pay for the t-shirts before they got stolen, right? That's what we caught. We caught that wave, and we thrived on that, and we did the right thing, and we kept working hard, you know? So now we can do what we want. That's the whole deal. Work that hard, do it right, keep chasing it. I'm not going to stop chasing it, you know? Yeah. It's not going to stop dreaming, not going to stop aspiring. Yeah. I started the Chop House Studio in Walnut Creek, California in 1992. So when you see on the stickers or on the shirts where it says making music since 1992, that's the real deal. The Chop House Band has been together that long. Okay, yes. 28 years is the different members. There's been 30 or 40 members in a loose kind of way. We never played live for anybody because the studio was always built as a place for everybody to escape to. When they get away from their tour and they can be home for a second, we can drink a little too much and have some fun and play songs that don't have to have an agenda and not to be so perfect and everything. That's what it was at first. So there's always mixes of people in all colors and sizes and shapes and genres of people that would mix together in the place and make the music and have that fun. So it's been going for that long. But just 3 or 4 years ago, we decided to bring it out and show people what we've been doing that whole time. And so now the members change as we go around in different areas and stuff like that.
Are you going to be playing any of the new stuff in these upcoming tunes?
Yes. Yeah, the 15th is going to be mostly originals, and it'll be heavy, like electric and, you know, rock and roll and stuff. And the 29th is unplugged with extra friends. So we're going to have keyboard player, violinist, banjo, all that stuff on the 29th.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.